Hi, it's Warren with Zen Pro Audio. Welcome to ZenTV Weekly. It is the week of January the 9th, 2012. Happy New Year, and we're glad to be back and taking care of everybody. We've been here the whole time, but we did take those Mondays off after Christmas and New Year's, so I hope yours was great as well. Ours was great and insanely busy. Crazy deal going on right now. The Yamaha HS80M in pairs for $499.99. It's an awesome deal. We're going to try to keep this going as long as we can. Right now we have limited stock on hand, but again, my pledge to you is as long as I can keep doing it, I will do it. It's just such a crazy, sweet deal. It already outperforms things in its normal price range. Never mind when we start carving hundreds of dollars off of the deal, okay? The Clipalator right now is just going crazy. Over the holidays, we've done so much with the Clipalator. The Thermionic Culture Phoenix SB, which the SB stands for standby. This is their tube and Vari-Mu compressor. I'm not so sure that anything more versatile has ever come through here in the way of control, but also in the variable tone that is available from this box. Absolutely insane. I mean, it really is sort of a crystal clear window that you're looking through, and all the way down to sort of a buttery sound, all the way down to just that driven thermionic distorted sound that is so useful. Really, really insane. You should go check out the clips and the video. A little trick that we discovered on the SB is the fact that standby mode means that you're running the tubes at 50% power, so you're turning the amps halfway down. So what I did was ignored the manual telling me to do that when I was not using the unit, and I engaged standby while I was using it, and here comes this just crunched, beautifully distorted sound, and everything from a difference in the way that it feeds the compressor to the signal itself. Just wildly, wildly different. So we really started messing around, and if you check out the video, you can actually see a spot on the drum and on the female vocal clip where I take the standby and actually put it into that mode and just start to just melt things down. Amazing. The crunchy stuff that you can keep up by the surface by going into that mode. The Summit audio line is starting to go into the Clipalator right now. We've got the TubeA221, some people call it the Tuba Pre. It's a tube and solid state hybrid. We have that in the preamp section right now as well. And check this out, the TLA100A. This box has been in production using the same methods to build it for a quarter of a century. It's one of the oldest standalone boxes out there on the market, if not actually the oldest, as far as outboard gear goes. Man, okay, I mean, I've always understood the TLA100A, but being able to really sit down and spend time with it, I really have to salute that box and say, that is, first of all, it's a very safe compressor. As far as tracking goes, oh my gosh, I mean, to track vocals and things like that, knowing that you're never going to just really overly drive something during that process is very, very nice. And it has this tonal space to it that you just have to go listen to in the Clipalator, that it's smooth, but it's almost like there's just this sort of, if you picture almost like a buoyant cloud, that the sound fills up, and it really doesn't kind of go outside of that. It's a very interesting kind of delivery. They've always claimed that the TLA50, which is the half rack unit at, you know, about a third of the price, they've always claimed that that unit would actually pretty much do the same thing, and they were based on the same things. And I have to say, it's two of the few units that we've taken and just test tones on every clip that we made and ran the two side by side with each other. They are virtually identical in action. Where they differ is in tone. The TLA50 certainly has a brighter, more present kind of sound, and again, that TLA100 to me just has almost like this buoyant sort of cloud that just gently flexes with the audio but does hold it in place. It's a very, very cool deal. You gotta go check those two out compared to each other. The Golden Age EQ73 it's in stock, it's been shipping here at Zen Pro. We had it in the Clipalator, I think, within 24 hours of its arrival. The interesting thing about the EQ73 is, yes, it's a 1073 for the most part as far as an EQ, but it's more. Look at all of the extra points that they've kind of filled in along the way from top to bottom, and the filtering options that you have. Very good. It's certainly an aggressive kind of sound. You really got to go check it out. Obviously, we used the Pre-73 Mark II, using it on the insert for the makeup gain and things as well. That EQ73, great addition. If you already own a Mark II, You got to do it. It's really made for it. You know, it only has a single TRS input jack on the back, which is input and output. So it's really made to use that insert jack on the Mark II, which, by the way, if you buy the EQ73, they give you the TRS cable so that you can just hook those two suckers together and rock out. So putting a pre and an EQ in the same rack together, what a great idea, and it turns out that it really is a very good performer. The AEA RPQ500, so this is the 500 series version of the RPQ that's been out for a few years now. Virtually indistinguishable as a preamp and as an EQ. We now have both in the Clipalator. I invite you to go check them out. In the testing that we do here, we really couldn't tell you know, a difference in tone or delivery between those guys. And we did make some EQ files. We kept it more limited because the EQ section is a top boost only in bottom end, you know, trimming, okay? You know, it's a bass cut. So we did actually do a mix as well as the acoustic sources in the Clipalator, so you can check that out and hear that smooth EQ in action. The blue Robbie, their tube preamp, you can hear that in the Clipalator now. I think it's a standout. It has this very smooth kind of delivery to it. It just sounds wonderful. Go check it out. So that's finally in there. The Cranesong HEDD192. In the specialty folder in the Clipalator, you can go check out the HEDD192. There's a bypassed mix, which is the one that we've been using internally here for converter tests that we'll be launching very soon. You can hear the pentode, the triode, and the tape saturation modes. You gotta go hear that tape saturation mode. It's very, very cool. So I just kind of chose slightly exaggerated settings on that so that you hear it applied to the mix. Very, very nice stuff. Aside from being an awesome converter, those effects are actually very well thought out, and even using small amounts of them, you'd really miss it if you took it away. We do have more of those converter tests coming very soon, by the way, that we're going to be able to publish for everybody. We've got so much stuff tested in here. Not only A to D, but the D to A. I promise you, it is coming soon. The ShinyBox Guillotine. This is a 500 series high pass and low pass filter. Very, very slick design. It's using logic switching, and it's very cool. We still have to make a video for that one. We put 4 examples in there. A lighter and then a very heavy reduction of bass, and then a lighter and very heavy reduction of the top end. So you get to hear how the guillotine very steeply and sharply sort of cuts things down, a very smooth kind of filter. The Trident A Range, I've got audio in the Clipalator as a preamp and also as an EQ. And again, on a rare occasion, what we did was we took another unit, the Daking mic pre-EQ claims to be a Trident A Range, you know, ish unit, okay? So we took PMI's new Trident A Range unit and we stacked a Daking on top of it. We used the same frequency points and nulls to get as close as we can. So you can go into the Clipalator EQ folder now and you can hear the Daking, which has been reprocessed and uploaded right next to that Trident, and hear those audio files. I still have to make a video file. I'm a little behind on videos this week. So anyway, that is all the hot stuff that's going on at Zen Pro Audio this week, really for the past few weeks. Gosh, as always, you can click on Contact Us there on the site, and I'll personally respond and get you taken care of. I hope you guys had a great, happy New Year. I'm looking forward to a great 2012, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.